short statement in the courtroom when the jury walked in. None of them looked at Casey Anthony, which we usually think of as a bad sign to the defendant, but they gave a not guilty verdict on the most serious charges.
Yeah, you're breaking up on me. You know, to Ryan, then the judge had the immediate polling of the jury, and that is a chance if there is any juror who disagrees with the verdict to let their voice be heard, Ryan.
Yeah, you're right, and they had that opportunity right there, but they all agreed with the verdict. Nancy, I got to tell you, you and I have been following this for a very long time, and remember, there were also lesser...
The defense lining up for the defense presser. There's Baez, Dorothy plays him. They're all lined up. Let's hear what they've got to say.
We're going to press conference.
Are you ready, Jackie?
Yeah, thank you.
My name is Dorothy Sims, and I am thankful for today's verdict on behalf of Casey Anthony and on behalf of all of the people that stand behind me. And I would ask them to name their names, please.
William Plato.
Ms. Aladino. Elizabeth Snyder. Jean Barrett. Sally Gisa. Christina Wallace. Shirley Mason. Diana Martin.
Marcin Lewandowski.
Well, I hope that this is a lesson to those of you who have been indulged in media assassination for 3 years, bias and prejudice, and incompetent talking heads saying what would be and how to be. I'm disgusted by some of the lawyers that have done this, and I can tell you that my colleagues from coast to coast and border to border have condemned this whole process of lawyers getting on television and talking about cases that they don't know a damn thing about and don't have the experience to back up their words or the law to do it. Now you've learned a lesson. And we appreciate the jury. Those of you that have been objective and professional, we like it. Others, we're going to be talking to again. Thank you very much.
I know he's got to say something.
I want to start off by saying that while we're happy for Casey, there are no winners in this case. Kaylee has passed on far, far too soon. And what my driving force has been for the last 3 years has been always to make sure that there has been justice for Kaylee and Casey. Because Casey did not murder Kaylee. It's that simple. And today, our system of justice has not dishonored her memory by a false conviction. I want to thank everyone who stood behind me and who supported me throughout this time, and especially the man who took me under his wing and made sure that I stayed focused and that we continue to work hard and that we continue to fight and battle. It really is, I really do have mixed feelings over the whole situation for those facts. This case has brought on new challenges for all of us. Challenges in the criminal justice system, challenges in the media, and I think we should all take this as an opportunity to learn and to realize that you cannot convict someone until they've had their day in court. We have the greatest constitution in the world, and if the media and other members of the public do not respect it, it will become meaningless. And today and yesterday on the 4th of July, there was a breath of life in it, and I think I want to also acknowledge the prosecutors who worked hard for justice as well. I think they are a fine group of prosecutors. Linda Drane Burdick is an incredible adversary, and I think that she's certainly one of the best lawyers I've ever seen. Frank George also was a very important member of that team that really held them together and made them very cohesive, a cohesive unit. And Mr. Ashton is a fierce opponent, and I think that the state of Florida, all three of them, served the state of Florida very well. As I said, I'm not as I'm very happy for Casey. I'm ecstatic for her, and I want her to be able to grieve and grow and somehow get her life back together. I think that this case is a perfect example of why the death penalty does not work, and why we all need to stop and look and think twice about a country that decides to kill its own citizens. Murder's not right, no matter who does it, whether it's a ritual killing or someone becoming a victim in a drive-by shooting. It's disgusting. And I think if this case gets any attention, it should focus on that issue, that we need to stop trying to kill our people. The best feeling that I have today is that I know I can go home and my daughter will ask me, "What did you do today?" And I can say I saved a life. Quiero decir gracias a toda mi gente que me apoyó por dentro de este proceso, y realmente no tengo las palabras para explicar cómo me siento en este momento, pero definitivamente quiero decirle a mi familia que lo amo y con todo mi corazón, y a mi madre que me está mirando en este momento. Te amo, mami.
And there you hear from the defense team, who took up a large part of their presser, railing against lawyers who have analyzed the case to their detriment, claiming that all of the pundits don't have any experience and don't know anything. To Linda Kinney Biden, you're once part of the defense team. I would think that right now that their main focus would be on the victory that they've had in court, what it means for top mom Casey Anthony. I know they went nearly 2 full minutes before anybody remembered to mention Kelly, but, you know, finally somebody, I guess, popped Baez, and he did bring up Kelly. But, Linda, last year I was at the media at lawyers who have analyzed the case. I found that to be a very unusual reaction. That's their first concern.
Well, no, I don't think it was their first concern, Nancy, but I think there is...
Well, that's what Franny Mason said first.
Well, there is something to be said for everybody rushing around, including I got caught up in it today, too. I thought they were going to find her guilty given the quick verdict. But I never thought during this trial that the prosecution had proved the case. And we have to remember it's about the prosecution's burden to prove the case. Sure, this family is destroyed. Yes, a child is dead. But when we get into the courtroom, I have to tell you, you can't not focus yourself on the prosecution's burden because that's also very important. And I've told everyone from day one, there was phony forensic science here. They never crossed their I's, dotted their T's, and I think they overreached. Had they gone for something less, maybe there would have been a plea bargain for less. I think it would have been a different circumstance. But you can't overreach in the criminal justice system. You can't. And that also is a victory for Kaylee Marie, because obviously there's somebody out there who should be charged for something.
Okay, hold on. Let's correct what's up on the screen right now. The verdict is guilty on false info to law enforcement officer, but as to first-degree murder, it is a not guilty. By all intents and purposes, it's a not guilty overall, because on false information to police, it's entirely possible, if not probable, that Top Mom will walk free come Thursday morning. She'll go get processed at the jail like Lindsay Lohan or Nicole Richie, where they do about 30 minutes behind bars, because she's already served time waiting on this trial to occur. So the years that she would have done, which is about 4 max, have already been pretty much eaten up by her time behind bars waiting for trial. I'm going to go back out to Mike Brooks. Mike Brooks, have you ever stood in a courtroom after you've given your heart and soul and you know the defendant is guilty and you hear the words, "not guilty," ring out?
Oh, I have, Nancy, and then I've run into that person at a shopping mall one time. So, and they come by and go, "Hey, Detective Brooks," and you just look at them and say, well, you know what? That's the criminal justice system. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But I tell you what, was there really justice for Kaylee in this? That's the question.
Well, you know what, Mike? I think you and I know the answer to that. Looks like a shot outside the courthouse. As you see, people just milling around. And we're just showing you a shot right there of Ashton sitting just shell-shocked. People just wandering. There you see purple balloons. That was Kaylee's favorite color. And in Linda Drain Burdick's closing argument, I noticed that she had everything written on purple paper as a tribute to Kaylee. People are still wandering around looking stunned. They're saying, what happened? A lot of people still can't believe the verdict is not guilty, but it is. And that is part of our justice system. When you give a case to a jury, it's crapshoot. There's no two ways about it. We are taking your calls. Let's go out to, do I have Amy in Georgia?
Yes, Nancy. How are you?
Hi, Amy. I'm good. What's the question?
I'm shocked by the verdict, and my question was answered when the verdict was read, but I have come up with some other ones. First of all, will Casey be able to capitalize financially on this now that she will be a free woman? And with just 1 year being, where will she go? Certainly she won't be going back to Georgia.
You know, there are a lot of Son of Sam laws across the country. The main Son of Sam law has been struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court. But a lot of jurisdictions have come up with their own version of Son of Sam laws where a defendant cannot gain financially from a crime. But in this case, a jury has determined there was no crime. So Top Mom absolutely can make money. She can write a book. She can have a movie. She can pretty much make as much money as possible. And I can assure you she will. Okay, out to the line to Dana in Delaware. Hi, Dana.
Hi, Miss Nancy. I thought I was sick after the verdict. I'm even sicker to my stomach after listening to the defense. That woman got away with murder, Miss Nancy. My question,